Okay, here we go. All right. I hope my internet holds out this time. Sorry about that for last week. That was weird and seems to be kind of sort of an ongoing problem. So if I give out again, this week, sorry. Just yeah. Something about an old computer not really agreeing with the wireless modem. I'm guessing that's what it was. I'm not entirely sure. But not much has really happened in the past week. I was able to get this one done. So this one is now complete. This is the one this was my experiment with cotton thread, because I'd never tried it with cotton before. I really like it. My husband really likes it. So now I have to make another one, which is a project that he wanted me to make for him. And I was originally going to do it out of acrylic, and I bought the yarn for it and everything. But now he wants it made out of cotton because he likes the feel of it. And I do tend to agree with him. Cotton seems to be, I don't know, it just naturally has a tighter weave than acrylic. I don't know, it's because it doesn't have as much stretch to it, but yeah. But anyway, this one's now completely done. I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of building up my inventory right now. I'm hoping to be able to start taking commissions and sell stuff starting next year. So it's kind of a goal for myself. But yeah, this one is now completely done. I haven't started any new projects. So the ones that I have left that I'm still working on are a diamond pattern, a lightning pattern, and a arrowhead pattern. I'm hoping to just kind of do a quick run through of each of the patterns just to kind of show you guys, just to kind of give you guys a refresher how to do them. And I'll probably start working on the bigger types. I'll probably on the bigger types of patterns when I finish the 3 that I have left right now. And the next one I set up will probably be the project for my husband, which I'm sure a lot of you will be very interested in. It's going to be a flame sash pattern, and it's also going to have a pair of matching garters with it. My husband's into reenacting, and it also has a little bit of Cherokee lineage in him. At least he's pretty sure he does. His great-grandmother had Cherokee lineage. So he wanted to have a little piece of that to have on him. So he asked me to make him a sash and garter set to wear to different events that we have here where I live. So the next time I set up a project, I'm hopefully going to be able to film that from start to finish and just kind of show you guys how to do it as I go. So for now, I'm just going to get started in on the diamond pattern. And just bear with me for a couple seconds as I readjust my camera. I wish I had 2 cameras, or at least had the setup for 2 cameras for this, because it would just be easy just to switch between cameras, but I don't. So excuse me just a second as I move my tripod around, my little stand thing here. Gosh, it was not meant for this. I'm still waiting for the clip on this thing to just completely snap one of these days. And I wouldn't be surprised if it did. So, okay, we're going to try that for a bit. That's way too close. So I'm going to try backing off a little bit. And now my wire's in the way. Okay. There we go. Try moving it that way a little bit so it's in view. Okay. See if I can get the focus here. Come on. Okay, I think that's about as good as it's going to get. So a diamond, just as a quick refresher, a diamond starts out just like a chevron. So say this is my starting point, and I'm just going to go ahead and finish up the chevron here, which you guys have seen me weave countless times probably by now. Oop, that's a little backwards. What the heck happened here? Hold on. Oh, that's why. There we go. Always make sure you know where your threads are. I'll make mistakes like that. This one I've been working on for quite some time. As you can probably see down here, I have quite a bit of length going already. This is one of my longer projects I've ever done. So this one's probably going to take me a while to finish. Nice thing is, it gets pretty slow during the week at work, and they don't seem to mind me pulling it out to work on to keep myself occupied. So I've actually been able to bang out a lot of my projects recently just by keeping myself awake at work. So that's been pretty nice. All right, there's that. This is acrylic, so I do have to keep going back in and tightening stuff down because acrylic doesn't quite hold up its tension as well as cotton does. I'm going to miss cotton because all the other projects I got going right now are all acrylic. But hey, you work with what you got. This piece was more of a setup and demonstration piece anyway. That's why I chose the colors that I did. Because you could easily see them and you can kind of see how the pattern works, how the threads move around in the pattern. Okay, to those of you who have just started watching, this is a diamond pattern that I'm working on. I'm in the chevron part of it. I haven't made it to the reversal yet. It's basically how a diamond starts out. Every diamond pattern starts out as a chevron. That's not right. Okay. Sometimes mistakes are made, and you got to go back in and kind of reweave your end here. And there we go. Got that fixed. Okay, didn't pull that one quite as tight as I wanted. So I've forgot to put my phone on silent. Whoopsies. So if you guys were watching last week, you may have seen me trying out a different weaving technique for the chevron pattern. I found I didn't really like it that much because I was trying it out on the chevron. But I did find that for when you reverse into the diamond, that weaving technique is frankly like ideal. Because I tried it when I was doing the reverse part of the diamond, and I couldn't believe how fast I was going. It made the diamond pattern so much more easy. And if you've watched any of my older videos, you will probably recall that I kind of absolutely hate doing diamond, or I've said I've absolutely hated doing diamond. But the weaving technique I picked up helped me like it a little bit more, or dislike it a little bit less, if you take my meaning there. So as soon as we get there, almost there, as soon as we get the chevron to meet in the middle here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just give it a quick tighten real quick. Okay, after this last one here, we will have made it to where chevron meets up. And this is where you reverse it and start doing the diamond part, or what makes the diamond, rather. Okay. So I'm going to take these 3 middle threads from either side here. So the 6 threads in the middle, and I'm going to weave them together real quick. This prevents a hole showing up right in the middle. So those together, let's flip them up. Okay. Gosh, I wish this thing would focus. Okay. Come on, would you focus? Okay, fine. Excuse the darn thing being stubborn. It's not focusing for me. Okay. But this is when the reversal happens after you've done your 3 threads here and then woven your 6 threads in the middle together. And it doesn't have to be 6 threads, depending on how big you're doing your diamond pattern. As long as you're weaving some threads together in the middle, it'll prevent a hole in your pattern. Now this is where I found that the reverse, that the different weaving method that I found works out wonderfully. So I'm basically just going to separate out the threads or weave across with my finger. Tighten it down a little bit, straighten it out. Okay, and then I literally just take this, grab it, and then I can just pull it right on through. It does make the weaving backwards a heck of a lot easier, I found. So I'm just gonna go across with my finger here. Okay, can tighten it up a little bit. Fix that up. Okay. And then this is the thread that was left over from when the chevron met up in the middle. I'm going to take that after I separate out the threads, top and bottom, and just pull it right on through. And I found that this method for weaving made it a heck of a lot faster for this pattern. First few rows might be a little bit dodgy because you're just trying to get everything where it's supposed to be, but after a bit, it just makes things so much easier for the reversal part of the diamond pattern. Let's do that. Then grab the last thread, pull it right on through. And that's it. It's a lot easier than trying to weave the individual thread across, and I'm very glad that I found that weaving technique. Pop it up so you guys can see. Now maybe me being able to see would be nice too. There we go. Did I have a screw up here? Okay, no, I didn't. There we go. Okay, so I separated out. I just went ahead and weaved across with my finger, and then I'm going to take that last thread, pull it on through. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is kind of my new way of doing the diamond pattern. It used to be I would weave each thread across individually, and it would just drive me freaking nuts because I had to weave backwards from what I was used to doing, and it would always drive me crazy. But this way, it's kind of similar to still weaving back and forth, only instead of using a thread, I'm using my finger. And then all my threads are where they need to be when I pull that through. Okay. That one. Pull right on through. So yeah, this is how I figured out that diamond pattern can be a lot easier than what I was making it for myself. yeah, that's how you switch and start going back from a chevron into making a diamond. And as you can see, as you weave out, it comes back to this point again, in which you just switch back to doing a chevron. You just kind of keep going like that all the way down. Okay. Switch this out for another one now. Yeah, you can see I've done a little bit of work on this one. Got it about 2.5 feet long right now. Just getting there. It's still going to take a while to finish. Okay. Now on to one of everyone's favorites. I'll be switching to the lightning pattern now. So that seems to be the one everybody's most eager to learn. Oh goodness, what did I do here? All right, so we're going to go ahead with a lightning pattern here. Got that all set up and ready to go. All right, any questions, just go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'll answer them as quickly as I can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't everyone talk at once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. just being a little bit temperamental at the moment. There we go. A little better. I think you guys can see that bit clearer now. Okay. I'm just pulling on the threads a little bit just to make everything a bit tighter. All right, and that's one pass here. We'll go ahead and do one more pass. One more pattern here, because right now I've just woven right there. That's about 1 inch that I just wove right there. So go ahead and do another one here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to... Oop. Not wanting to bump the camera. There we go. Okay, there you go. You can see that the beginning of the lightning is just now starting to show up down here. I'm just going to keep going real quick. Here we go. Almost done my second pass in this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Interlocking patterns. I love them. They're gorgeous. But your threads become a tangled mess while you're doing them. Okay. Like a really tangled mess. Not kidding, you guys. Not kidding. Okay, it's untangled enough for me to work on, I think. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. Okay. There we go. So that's 2 whole patterns there that I just wove. It's about 3 inches. A lot of work for a little bit of length, but looks really nice when you look back on it and see all the hard work you've put into something. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pause on that one. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the arrowhead that I have set up still. Just go ahead and grab that real quick. All right, switching to the arrowhead, which is a fun mix of the lightning and the chevron patterns, because you employ techniques from both. Okay. Just have that set up here. Okay. This is one at 6, I think. This one else at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this one's also switch at the 7th thread. Now I remember, yeah, because these are both set up to where you switched out at the 7th thread that you got to. Remember now because it was similar to what I had set up our lightning pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pull through. Switch out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull through. There. 7th. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Through. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right, so that starts the very tips of the arrow. Once you got that set up, weave past it, or not, you weave up to the one that you just wove. So in that case, the first one I wove to the 7th thread, 7th blue thread, and then switched it out. This time I go to the 6th one and I switch it out. And then I finish weaving across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to switch with that. Oh, thank you. There we go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. The fun part about the arrowhead is that as you're weaving the first part of the one that you're working on, you weave the final part of the one before it. So it really takes 2 complete passes to make a complete arrowhead. So there we go. Just go tighten that down a little bit. There we go. One, 2, 3. Yep. All right. right, I'm getting close to the end of my first pass here. Ooh. Need to quit bumping my camera. Okay. There's that. Now, some people, when they do their arrowheads, they do to where everything kind of meets up in the middle and it's all one continuous line. I like having my arrowheads have a little bit of separation, so I do something a little bit different with mine. And I mean, it really depends on how you're weaving, how you want your pattern to look. You know, so like for this one, for instance, I like having that little bit of separation between the two arrowheads. Other people don't like that, so they'll do something. They'll count their threads a little bit differently, so that everything still kind of connects in the middle. Okay. Go ahead and do that. Give my fingers a workout. It's been a while since I've done this pattern. Been working on the simple ones for so long. Okay, so I have no more white threads, and you can see that I still have the two blue threads in the middle. And how I did that was when I set it up, everything's kind of set up. When you set up this pattern, you start out with the 3 solid bars of yarn like this. So say I'm starting my project, that's what it looks like. I know how many threads of white that I have, which is a number divisible by 2. And then, which I think I had 12 of them here. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, so I had 12 white threads. To get the separation in the middle, when I'm weaving through for the corner up here, if you want them to connect in the middle, you either go, you don't go out farther than half the amount of threads that you have for your main pattern. So if I wanted it to connect in the middle, I would have gone to the 5th blue thread or the 6th blue thread and left it at that. But since I wanted the separation, I took it out to the 7th blue thread, which when I finished up the beginning part of the arrowhead pattern would leave me to 2 threads in the middle to make the separation of the two of the previous arrowhead and the next arrowhead possible. And then these two, I just kind of weave them all the way out. I don't even bother interlocking them. Kind of helps tie everything together. Now you can have a whole lot of fun with the arrowhead pattern because the way the threads move around and such, it can give you some interesting color combinations or just interesting patterns. This one's just a 2-color one. So you have your main pattern, your main arrowhead in the middle, and then the 2 sides. I have another one that I've done in the past. That I did with 3 colors. This is one of my samples from one of my older videos. So when I started in the middle here, I did the middle part of white and then the red and the gray. And as you can see, as you go, the red and the gray kind of alternate back and forth, making this cool striped pattern. So that's what happens when you do it with 3 colors. And you can actually expand upon this, make it wider, which I will hopefully be showing you soon here in the future. Because this is kind of what a flame pattern sash looks like when it's in the middle of it, which actually I can show you a flame pattern sash because I still have that. So here's the flame pattern sash. And you can kind of see what I'm talking about with how similar the two of them are. So you can see there's the red and the gray that goes all the way down. So the arrowhead and the flame sash are very closely related, very similar. Basically really the only difference is counting threads. Thanks. It's basically how wide your pattern is in counting threads, whether it's arrowhead or flame sash. But knowing how to do the arrowhead pattern definitely helps with doing the flame sash. So yeah, this one it's got a little less separation in it than this one does. You can kind of tell the difference. This one I just went out to basically the 6th, I think. Yeah, these ones are the same thread count. So instead of going out to the 7th thread, I only went out to the 6th thread. So you can see that there's not as much separation in the arrowhead in this one as there is in this one. And again, it all depends on how far you weave out. So yep, there is that. So I'll go ahead and just kind of do one more pass on this one. And finish out this arrowhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Pull that out. Switch it out. And weave to the end. Camera cord getting in the way. One of these days I'll have a proper video setup for this. One of these days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I'm going to switch it out and weave on down to the end. And I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 instead of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Four. Put it on to the end there. Here we go. Gonna tighten things down a little bit. Three, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry if I don't get very talkative. I kind of zone out when I'm weaving. Find it rather relaxing, and I find that I actually kind of lose track of time when I'm doing it. Yeah, you can see that the tip of the previous arrowhead that I started is now starting to form here. There we go. Reach the end of that arrowhead. Tighten it up a little bit. I just kind of pull on the white threads a little bit. That seems to work the best. And then I'm going to go ahead and take these 2 blue threads and weave them across. All right, and there we go. Okay. All right. So there we go. That's what it looks like after you've done a full arrowhead, which is roughly 2 repeats of the pattern. First one gets you the first half of the arrow, and the second one gets you the point of the arrowhead. Oh, yeah. Okay, then. Go ahead and tie this off so it doesn't come undone on me. Had that happen. Okay. And that's about all I had for tonight. Haven't really gotten any new projects set up yet. Here's kind of a wider version of this pattern and how it's going. So you guys can take a look at it. It's coming out pretty good. Except I haven't really been able to work on it consistently because there are some areas that are a lot looser woven than others, and yeah, that's what happens when you don't get to work on a project very often. By the time you do finish it, it kind of looks a little wonky, so I'm just going to readjust my camera real quick so you guys can see me. Well, hello. Okay. But yeah, that was all I had for tonight pretty much. I've been weaving for about an hour. It's getting pretty late where I live right now. But hopefully next week I'll have something new for you guys to look at. I'm hoping to at least get something a little more interesting set up. I'm hoping either a flame pattern or maybe even a double pattern, so you guys can kind of see how a double wide pattern works. And when I mean a double pattern, I mean like a double diamond or a double chevron, where it's basically 2 single patterns woven together into one to make something a little bit wider and more substantial. I don't have any examples on hand, unfortunately. Most of the ones that I made ended up being given away as gifts after they were made. But I'm hoping to either have one of those or a flame sash set up by next week, so you guys can kind of see how that works. So until then, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you can comment below once the video posts. I know it takes a little while for it to post after I do a live stream, but feel free to leave a comment. Any questions you have, I'll try to get back with you as quickly as I can, and I'll also try to address any questions in the next live stream. So until then, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm glad I could show you how to do this. It's really a kind of a dying art. You really don't find much about it. I remember looking around on Instagram trying to see if there's anybody else, and maybe I found 3, maybe 4 people that actually did it. So I'm kind of hoping that this will maybe kind of bring this dying art back around, because it's gorgeous. So hope to see you guys next week. Until then, I hope you guys have a great 3-day weekend, because Columbus Day is on Monday. So until next Friday, I'll see you guys later. Toodles.